So we are talking about California clinical social workers and specifically the California Society for Clinical Social Work Association. And to discuss this with us today, we have Monica Blauner, and she is a licensed clinical social worker in private practice in Los Angeles. She's also the past president of the California Society for Clinical Social Work. And Monica has been in the field for over 40 years, working in all levels of care in mental health and addiction treatment settings. She is a trained psychoanalyst and teaches at the UCLA School of Social Welfare. So Monica, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so just to get us started, so the California Society for Clinical Social Work, if you can share with us a little bit about what is the association about? What's their mission? What are they hoping to accomplish?
Well, our mission statement is to advance and promote the profession and practice of clinical social work.
You passed the test, you know it by heart.
And our goals include, well, first of all, I guess I think of the association as providing a professional community for like-minded people to get together. So we are a forum for networking and support. We provide education. Our members can get continuing education units for free at some of our meetings. And then we have workshops at which they can get discounts. We also advocate for the profession. We have a presence in Sacramento, and we hope to be shortly hiring a part-time lobbyist, as we used to have in the past. And we're also, part of our mission is to promote ethical standards, and we have an ethics committee with trained ethics consultants to provide free consultations to our members. We're also very committed to diversity, equity, and transformation. That's the name of our committee, because it's about transforming our organization as well as society. So we have a real commitment to diversity also.
Wow, yeah, covers everything, right? So that's what professionals need. They need to connect with each other, support each other, collaborate, get education, advocacy, lobbying for the things that are really important. Yeah, that really covers it. So that's the point of professional associations.
Yes.
Yeah, and so why did you specifically get involved? I mean, being the past president, what motivated you to take on all that work?
That's a good question. Besides my workaholic tendencies.
There you go. We have a group for that.
Which I never thought I had as much until I took on this position. But I will tell you that ever since I got my MSW in 1979, I have always belonged to the clinical social work associations in every state that I've lived in. Because I always felt that it was important to support the organization that supported the efforts of clinical social workers, because there really wasn't that presence. And so I've always been a member and been more or less active. But what happened in California, where I've only lived for the past 16 years, I'm a relative newcomer to California, is that the organization honestly fell on hard times, and I was invited to a weekend retreat. And at that meeting, I got invited to join the board. And I said to my husband, should I do this? And he said, yes. And then a year later, I got asked if I would take over the presidency. And I went to my husband and I said, should I do this? And he said, yes. I said, you're going to be seeing even less of me than you are now. And he was like, that's okay.
Wow. So he was supportive of it. Why is it that you think he was so supportive of you taking on that task?
Because he's my best support and cheerleader, first of all, in everything. And because he really wants to support my career.
Mhm.
And as it turns out, his specialty is training people for their careers, how to look for jobs, career branding and marketing,
Ah, okay, yes.
promotion. So yeah, it totally fit.
Yeah, so of course he's gonna be a fit, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So, what are some of the main accomplishments of the association over the past years?
Oh, since I've gotten involved, we have many. I'm very proud to say. First of all, we have pretty much doubled our membership since I got involved, maybe even a little bit more than that. The other thing is that our membership at the time skewed to the older side. And so one of the things we really targeted was and created member benefits specifically for those newer to the profession. So things like we have a liaison directly to the Behavioral Board of Sciences, that our licensing body, because they're notoriously difficult to get in touch with. We created a list of our members who are supervisors, who will supervise for licensure hours, and we have a mentorship program.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. Yeah,
The
that's
other
great.
thing, may I go on? I've got
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go on. Holy moly, let's go on.
Also, I have to say, in the last year or more of the pandemic, the organization really rose to the occasion. We moved all of our meetings online, which had the benefit of making all our educational meetings, which used to be in person, available to members all across the state. And people are liking that, so we're going to keep them that way. Our statewide listserv was instrumental in keeping people informed about all the changes in the rules and regulations in the move for telehealth. We provided some trainings on telehealth, and we hope to do more of those. And we ended up starting statewide consultation/support groups. Actually, the first one we had before the pandemic was Real Talk for BIPOC social workers. And we have since created one for AAPI social workers, a telehealth support and consultation group, and most recently one specifically for students in ASWs.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
just things off the top of my head. There's more.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. That's what clinicians need, right? So if they're struggling with ethical decision making, you
Yeah.
guys have consultation for that. And then I agree, like getting in touch with licensing boards is quite difficult. So being that liaison, super helpful. I know clinicians really struggle with that. And we have also found that peer consultation groups are really hard to find and get into. That's something that we're actually taking on too, to assist just making the connections with people. That's what we're going to try to do, because we actually did a survey not long ago looking for the interest, seeing if people are interested in that, if they're having difficulty, and they are. That's a real need. So I'm glad you guys are doing that locally. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Well, that's part of what I mean about our being a professional community. It's not that the organization necessarily provides all these groups. I mean, the ones I mentioned we
Yeah.
do, but that it's an opportunity for clinical social workers to meet each other and
Right.
form personal groups, which has also happened. I'm a member of one of those groups.
Yeah. So when the pandemic hit, whether people wanted to do telehealth or not, they had to. So I'm sure they were really looking to the association for guidance on that. And social clinical social workers across California receive the resources that you all have, but they may or may not be paying dues and members, right? But they definitely need the help. They need these resources. They highly rely on the association, whether or not they fully realize it. So yeah, I agree. It's very important to become a member, pay the small dues to support the field as a whole. That helps all of us, and we all bring something to the table. So getting involved in some way, like you got involved in a big way, um, I think is really important.
Well, there are also lots of opportunities for leadership and resume building experience for those new in the
There
profession.
you go.
You know, we are essentially a volunteer-run organization.
Mm,
So we welcome people to get involved. And of course, the more involved you are, the more people you get to know. And as my husband will tell you, the more people you know, the better opportunities to find work. And frankly, to make friends.
yeah, yeah. And the peer consultation groups that I've been in, I've been friends with them for a long time. It's been really, yeah, and the groups I've been a part of for a long time. I think it also really deepens one's expertise and competence, because the associations typically provide training and courses on things that are really pertinent to the field at this time. And as time goes on, new things are going to come up. So they're presenting us with those and with great education opportunities and resources. So being involved, you're exposed to those things and really kind of staying current and competent. I think that's really helpful, rather than just keeping to yourself, plugging away day after day, not looking outside to say what's going on out there, what are the new developments in the field. Yeah.
Right.
So I found that to be very helpful also. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us in terms of what do you see in the future, challenges, resources needed, things that you're working to accomplish or that the association now is working to accomplish? Any last thoughts on any of that?
I think it's just building up kind of more of the same, continuing our high quality educational programming. I'm very proud that Alan Shore is going to be presenting a 4-hour masterclass for our organization on October 23rd. And we do continue to have this commitment to diversity and wanting to attract social workers from everywhere, and building our membership and being more known in the state.
Yeah, excellent. Well, thank you so much, Monica. And those of you watching this right this moment, please check out their website. It's in the details below, and consider being a member if you're a clinical social worker in California. Thank you.
Absolutely. Actually, you don't have to be in California. We do have some members from out of state.
Yeah, it would make sense. The resources and opportunities would be applicable, I suppose.
Absolutely. Especially now that everything's online.
Yes, no doubt.
Yeah.